What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Kendra Jae, and I'm here kicking it with DJ Fusion.
Kendra Jae, Sweet But Street. What a pleasure to sit down with you. You got a couple of songs that are just killing the game right now.
Thank you so much. I love that you said Sweet But Street. You did a little research.
I did a little research. Yeah, I wanted to come into this prepared. I wanted to do it proper and make sure that I showed you plenty of love.
Thank you so much.
I'm excited to learn a little bit about what got you into music.
Yeah. So I started with a dance background. A lot of people don't know that. That discovered me now as a music artist. But I started with dance. I moved to LA right after high school with the chase the dream mentality. Got out there. It was a rough 3 years, in a city like LA. Everyone's pretty, everyone's talented. It becomes more about who you know.
Right.
So I was working restaurant jobs. I was teaching dance. I was ambitious. I wanted it, but things just weren't happening for me the way I thought they would. I got dropped from my dance agent, and to make a really long story short, I ended up auditioning for Beyonce's Formation World Tour. I showed up to the audition without representation, which is never recommended, and booked the job, right? Youngest on the tour with 19 other women, crazy introduction to the game. And then the floodgates kind of opened for me after that, with Beyonce on your resume. People are like, okay, we want to hire her.
That's huge. And then you got to jump right into a tour with Drake too.
Yep, jumped in with Drake, did Beachella with Beyonce, and I was just like, man, in every room I was in, people were just like, you're bigger than this. Dance is great, but think bigger than dance. What's next? I always knew it was music, but working for other music artists, I'm very professional. So, that could essentially become a conflict of interest if you tell the wrong artist, hey, I'm about to be putting music out, So I was real quiet about it until it was the right time. And then pandemic came and it was perfect time.
Perfect time, right?
Music. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you can dance at home, but you're not going to get paid for it, maybe social media hits or something, but
exactly.
It looks like you took that time and made a really positive change.
Yeah, I'd say so myself. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think you did. So I gotta ask, what was it like on the Formation tour? Working with Beyonce, that just had to be epic.
It was crazy. It was a lot happening at one time. It was a layered experience. It was new in the game, and then first tour, which is an experience in itself, and then you add the Beyonce layer to it. Crazy. And then 19 women, it's a lot of girls to be touring the world with. It was an incredible experience that I really feel prepared me for everything I'm doing now. Who better than to have kind of studied and just watched what it took for her to get to where she was at, So I'm super, super thankful for all those experiences.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say too. Is watching Beyonce, then watching Drake, you've got two of the biggest people in the game on both sides of the playing field that you can just sit there and take notes, and you're dancing for them, so you're able to give some input and just build. It's beautiful all around.
It was so dope. Yeah, I didn't even realize how much of a sponge I was until I was now put in the positions I'm in now, where I'm oh, I know what to do, or I know this, or I know how this should feel. It's just crazy. It's everything really happened for a reason,
Well, fast forward 2021, you got a couple of singles blowing up the charts. Let's talk about Seesaw with Saweetie first.
Yeah, so Seesaw, I got in the studio with my boy Trev Rich. Shout out to Trev Rich. I had literally DM'd him because everyone was saying he was just super dope. And I was yo, I want to get in the studio with you. And we, gave birth to Seesaw. He's just a dope, super dope writer I love to work with. And he's my diary at this point. So going through a super vulnerable, moment in my life at the time, and was I gotta put this in a record. There's too many women that have felt like this before. And with my dance background, I knew I wanted it to be rhythmic, something that I could move to. And Seesaw was born. We just knew it was one of them ones. And then I happened to link with Saweetie maybe a week after I did the record, and just obsessively playing it, because I just, when you leave the studio, you you nitpick the record. It's the only thing you're listening to for a minute. So I just had the record playing, no intent to send it to her or anything. And she was just bro, this is a slap. Send me this. I'm trying to hear this in the car. I'm okay, cool. Send her the record. Was not even thinking a feature would come from it. FaceTime me a few weeks later and was surprise. I got on the song. She was literally in the studio, and it was Seesaw playing, and then her verse came on, and I was what?
Oh,
She was just, yeah, bro, I love the record. Like everyone in the room loved the record. I got on it. And she was doing the Pretty Summer playlist at the time.
okay.
So it was just like right timing, right people, genuine, organic, which is like the only way I ever wanted it to be, because I just respect her hustle and what it took her to get there, you know. But it really like got me some amazing looks. So shout out to the Ice Girl. I'm super thankful that she jumped on the record, and like right away it was like one of the stars on the project. So that was really dope, you know.
Oh, y'all made a movie with that video too.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you. Her getting in the video was dope. That like all, you know, came from my brain. So it came to life pretty well.
For anybody that's listening, maybe under a rock and maybe they're not familiar with Seesaw, can you just maybe real quick break it down what Seesaw about?
Yeah, so it just kind of came from like, you know, male, female, like love interest or whatever, boyfriend, lover, you know, whatever that is for you. But just being tired of like being unsure, like stuff is good and then it's bad. And then, you know, it's kind of like this back and forth pull that like really as a woman can get to you. Like, you know, I know myself as a woman, I like stability. So it's like either we're on and you're all the way in or we're off. And kind of just that like sense of like, okay, cool. Like you're not all the way in now. So like I'm off you, but when I'm up, you're going to want me back. You know, it's like now you want me cause I'm up, but I'm not trying to hear it, you know, cause in my case, you know, it was like from the bottom, like we started at the bottom, we're supposed to be at the top, but it didn't quite get there. But you know, that moment in my life has like truly changed the trajectory of like everything for me. So again, it's like everything happens for a reason, you know. On the project, I was like the most likely to flip a broken heart to a bag, and like although my track record and my experience and everything with my dance career set me up for this, like sometimes it just takes like one little experience in life for you to put it in a song and it just hit crazy, you know. So for me, that's really what it was.
And it's really relatable. I mean, who out there isn't in love with somebody, and love is just like a seesaw. It's up, it's down, you know, you got to ride that wave and there.
Yep, exactly. Super relatable. That's what I want all my stuff to be though. Like relatable, you know, just like stuff that people can like really connect with and feel. Cause I feel like I connect with music on such a different level, like from a young age.
Right.
My dad used to be like, look, I got chills. And I'd be like, chills? And it would be like from a song because it hit him a certain type of way. So I've just was like came up around music that like really like touched people. So I just want to do my best to give people that same experience.
What kind of music inspires you? What kind of music did you grow up to?
So I can't, man, everything. My dad had me like all over, from Earth, Wind and Fire, you know, Blackstreet, 112, Tupac. You know, we threw Biggie in there, Lil Wayne, Jay-Z, Lauryn Hill. Yeah, like those were like probably like, you know, just like the go-tos that I think of when I think of my childhood. Like we would always listen to, like I'll put those projects on now and it's like so nostalgic for me. It just reminds me of those moments when I was young.
Yeah, it just brings you back to hanging out with your dad and vibing and learning the music game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Let's talk about this new single, Big.
Yeah,
I'm loving this one too. You got big everything in that video too.
Big everything. I know it's different. Like, you know, Seesaw was real melodic and kind of like back and forth, you know, love. Yeah. I got a little flow off, but it was still very melodic. So with like Big, it's kind of like, wait, who is this girl? You know, at least for the people who have kind of given me their input, they're like, I didn't even realize like you could like get a flow off like that. I'm like, yeah, I'm not a rapper. I don't identify as a rapper. I just do what I need to do on the record. And it was something where it was like, you know, I pride myself on being humble, you know, forever humble. Like humility is a big thing for me. But at the same time with, you know, an industry like this, I definitely wanted to like make a statement, let people know like, you may not know me, but if you do your research, like I kind of been around. I've been in the game. I've been close to some of your favorite artists, you know, in ways that you may not have known. So I use this hashtag been big.
Right.
And when I was doing the rollout, and it, you know, it's like I'm talking a little bit. I don't know if we're testing on here, but I'm popping a little bit. But at the same time, it's like an ambitious like manifestation record. Like I'm coming for everything big, and I paid big dues to be making these big moves. And now I'm about to be a big move, you know, because I'm stepping in big shoes. Like it's a vibe. I wanted something that was a big hook. Of course, you know, the girls are back outside, so I feel like from the strip club to the, you know, house parties to the beach to the car drives, like it's just one of them records that just like is a vibe. And the, you know, little bed squeak in there, takes you back to a certain point in time. And
Yeah,
yeah, it's just like one of them ones that it's just a big record, you know?
when I first heard it, I thought about what was that? Trillville, Some Cut. You remember
Yeah.
that record because they
Yeah.
started with that
What
Ben
is
Speak too.
it was
Yeah.
yeah. Yep. Yep.
Well,
So
so you mentioned something here where you were saying that you've been big, you've been around, and I just want to kind of say that look at like St. John, same situation. He's been writing for artists for years, for big names, Usher, all kinds of people, made it huge, and now he's breaking out as an artist and amazing, and I feel like for you it's gonna be the same thing because you know this game and you're just a whole vibe with it right now.
thank you so much. I received that. I hope so. It's like everyone's like, it's not an easy game. I'm like, nothing in life has come easy, but I just try to, do right by people, put my best foot forward in everything that I do, build solid relationships. And like, so far, like everything that's happened for me, like this, you couldn't force this, So it's like, this is clearly like on my path and I'm just going to see it all the way through as big as I can see it.
It's something when I was researching you, I read a quote that you're known as the woman who will never gave up and never will. And I just see that in your spirit. I see that, in you right now and just keep that going.
I will. I plan to. Like you said, Seesaw is doing some really amazing numbers. So I'm super, super excited to just see how big the record can get and then continue to be consistent after that,
They big everything all around.
Big everything, period.
So we support a lot of independent music here in Madison at WJQM. I have a lot of upcoming artists that listen to our show. Do you maybe have some advice that you could pass on to any aspiring artists?
Yeah. I think it's super important, like for me, just like transitioning to just know who you are, like who you are as an artist, who you want to be, how you want people to receive you, because the music industry is very, be more like this, do that, sound like this, look like this, put this on. And it's very easy to get swallowed up in that if you're unclear on what it is that you want. So I think for me, I've always kept that like priority, like, who are you? Like, what's your brand promise? What do you stand for? Like, what's your sound? Like, you figure that out so that when you're walking into these meetings or if you do stay independent, your fans, like, you don't have to tell them, they can like feel it. Like, there's so many people that are like, oh, she's just so real. And it's like, dope. That's what I want. Like, I'm just being myself. So if people are feeling that, I'm doing something right. So I think, just like you knowing who you are, understanding your vision so that other people don't like make it for you, because they will,
Hey, absolutely. Got to stay true to yourself.
Yeah, that's the way. I think it's like a generation where people feel like they have to like put on and like be this character, but like a lot of times people just want like to feel you as a human,
Absolutely. And I think that's, when people relate to music, when they like music, it's because they can relate to it. It's something that means something to them. So where you're coming right now, everybody, male, female, old, young, like everybody can relate to Seesaw. And I think same thing with Big. I think you've got two adversely different singles that are just going to slap everybody and keep you going here to end out the year.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we finished in the fourth quarter off strong. That's the plan.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, sir.